Hey, what's going on, everybody? As always, it's the Mad Hatter logging back in. Welcome to another episode of Mad Hatter Radio. This go around, let's talk about the University of Missouri, as some call it Mizzou. It is a SEC school in the middle of the country in Missouri, in Columbia, Missouri, for those that don't know, and it was the center of a lot of controversy in 2015 when the school decided to protest against or a lot of marginalized groups, including blacks, Jews, women, Hispanics, so on and so forth, they went and they protested against what they viewed as racism happening on campus. And this also led to the football team also protesting, and they protested against practicing and playing for the school. And this led to the firing or the resignation of the school president and the chancellor as well. So this obviously infuriated a lot of people, not just people in the conservative media, but people had some legit grievances, especially being that this is a campus where they have one of the better journalism schools in the nation. University of Missouri has a great journalism school, and they were in the kind of like the quadrangle or the I forgot what it's called, but it's basically like the little like the green area that's in the center of the campus. And there was a tent city where students wanted their safe spaces. And an AP reporter came through, and he was accosted by one of the communications teachers who was like, "Nah, you got to get out of here. We need more muscle." And it's ironic being that how can you be a school that teaches free speech, but you don't want anybody really talking about an event that's this important? So obviously, people overreacted on a lot of different sides, is my opinion of it. Especially the conservative media. They look and they're like, aha, this is our moment to pinpoint and make a culprit of why we hate higher educational institutions and why we hate liberals. Um, but the thing is, how can you really, like, okay, so if you really do hate this school and you really do hate it because they attacked the First Amendment, how can you then turn around and support a president who goes to war against the First Amendment? So it doesn't really make sense. So again, what's really happening is that I think everybody involved is overreacting. If you really look at it, black people who were the ones with the biggest grievances on this campus, and I went to this school, and yes, there was a lot of racist shit that happened, but for a long time, we dealt with it. And I'm not saying that we were better or worse, but we dealt with it. It wasn't crazy to the point where people would, straight up not talk to you because of your skin color, but there was a lot of subtle stuff, a lot of subtle racism that happened. Like outside the Black Culture Center, they would hang nooses and throw cotton balls. We would get called niggers at parties, and people would do certain things, and they would come at us just because we were black. So maybe I'm not saying that black people didn't have their grievances then or now, but maybe what's happening is that black people have had enough and they're speaking out. So you got to look at that as black people and say, look, there's an opportunity to express your grievances and actually have real real consequences, for people who were racist against you. So is it really that bad? I'm not saying it's not or isn't, but I'm just asking the question. And for white people, the thing is, like, there's a lot of white people in this article that the New York Times wrote about how, they thought that they were losing the family atmosphere and there wasn't enough law and order. But it's like, nobody trashed the campus. The campus didn't get tore up. People aren't even protesting now, and it's only the freshman class is only 6% black. So it's like, you got a campus that's almost 90% white, and that's still not enough for you. And the numbers that this story talked about is how these levels, the levels of freshmen being admitted, it was a 42% drop among blacks and a 21% drop among whites. So you're going to go online and see a lot of people taking either side, but you're going to see conservatives the most vocal, and not just conservatives but right wingers who are going to say this is what happens when your campus is too liberal, but they're not going to talk about 42% the 42% drop in black students because black students felt as though they weren't safe on that campus. So overall, what this shows, in my opinion, is like the damage that the MSM and the far right wing media does when they overreact to things like this. Mizzou became this poster child for liberal campuses and the oppression of the First Amendment, or the suppression of the First Amendment. But like I said, if you're really worried about the First Amendment, how come all these people are so pro-Trump, who is anti-First Amendment? So again, this is just very unfortunate that the school is going through this. Very, very good school. I went there, met a lot of great people. It really does have a great atmosphere there, and it's really not as bad as the media made it out to be. Like I've been to other schools around campus, and they don't around the U.S. and they don't have that same relationship that school does. You go there, and everybody's friendly. Everyone's willing to hang out. You go to a football game, everybody's having a good time, and that's more than you can say for a lot of other schools. Trust me. So I want to leave that there. Let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.